Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Hardspace Shipbreaker. Look at that. I even remembered the order those words go in. Where I guess we're just continuing on. There's a lot of ranks yet to earn. There's a lot of hazard levels left to fill in. So, I don't think we've seen everything the game has to throw at us just yet. So, this is another javelin. Where can we... Oh, have we... I don't think we've worked on one of these before, have we? That looks interesting. Class 1 reactor, quasar thrusters. We also really haven't worked that much on ships that have, like, actual electrical systems, so that might be an interesting thing to do. Okay, this has got some power cells. It's got those slightly fancier thrusters. Pretty valuable, too. Yeah, if we just go for the money, we're gonna be working on javelins over and over again, it looks like. Okay, well, that's fine. We can take a little detour here. Let's see. That Atlas that we were looking at is not too much lower in value than the tanker. And yeah, it looks different. It looks like a new kind of thing. It also should have circuits. We can find the communications, the correct part of the communications array. So we'll see what we can do. Any chatter as we're starting the shift? Nope, okay. So let's take a look at this thing. We get some weld points on the front here. Sorry, I should not cut that yet. I should look and... Okay. Very little pressurized area. Just wanted to make sure that there wasn't, like, atmosphere in the cockpit. Tell you what, to get this front piece off in a real hurry, though. Is that enough, or is this a fixed... Oh, my grapple's whining. And this is all... Yeah, okay, this is all furnace. Well, that's just an extremely convenient design. I gotta say, having all of the bits that hold your canopy on be on the outside of the canopy, probably not the most ideal for in-flight repairs. And, with a spaceship in particular, spending a lot of time in flight. So we can rip some wires out of this terminal. Is there anything around here that looks like a communications array to me? Because, see, here's the problem. I don't know what array means. We know that the antenna doesn't give us what we need. We also know that we have a data drive here. Should probably actually look through our data drive stuff in the hab. Yeah, we have lots and lots of things we can rip wires out of. All right, I am disinclined to start yanking. Let's go around the back here and have a look. So what are these? Okay, just lights. Big chunks of lights. I like the design of this ship. I think it's very cool looking. So this room right through here is the only pressurized part of this ship, yeah? Alright, well. Why is that not? I am tapping F and it's unpowered, is why. Yeah, alright, well that's problematic. How big is the pressurized chamber? So it's just like that interior... That's kind of a lot of space. It does look like we are probably... God, yeah, if that airlock's busted... I don't see another airlock here. So I think we are just going to have to breach it, probably. And if that's what's on the table, let's see if we can't get these thrusters off of here first. both because I am concerned about damaging very expensive components, and also because I am concerned about doing real damage to a thing that still has active fuel in it. I feel like that could be real bad for us. You know, I do think I'm feeling like it feels like the grapple is moving things less quickly and is pushing them less hard. It's probably worth spending an actual repair kit. Yeah, look at that. It's definitely okay. That's a good implementation. The tools should work less well as they are as they break down, but you know, video games so often just like
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
the common D&D implementation of hit points has done so much damage to game design in general. I gotta tell you, yeah, the grapples hardly are the reel is hardly working at all. Get off of me. I tried charging up the push there and it had
Processor deposit accepted.
technically an effect, I guess. Look, I'm trying my hardest to spin the reel or the reel right now. That is the best it will do. Oh, get over there. There we go. Fortunately, we're going to be doing a lot of cutting
Processing object.
for a while here after
Credits to account.
we get these things off. So hopefully that'll be okay. I had to make sure that wasn't going to drift into the furnace. Yeah, push force is way down for sure. All right, are we all clear here? Looks like we're all clear. So I don't know if these are going to be the same kind of thruster where we have to pull the cap and then get inside really fast. Or rather, we pull the nozzle and then there's a thing we have to do inside really fast. Like once we start cutting, we'll see. Because yeah, we don't need to react particularly quickly to this part. I guess I could resolve my bad grapple problem by just tethering a lot. Yeah, ain't that expensive. And yep, this is very much that situation.
Credits deposited.
I gotta tell you, that's real scary with two of these right next to each other. We fuck this up, it's gonna be the bad. All right.
Thruster unstable. Fire hazard risk high.
Fire hazard risk is certainly high. Tether that shit to the back. Ow, shit. Okay. Yeah. Not too bad. There's a larger number of obstructions in here, in these thrusters, than in the other ones, which is a fun way of making this more difficult. Okay. We can do that a couple more times.
Salvage secured. Applying credit. Thruster systems free. Detecting elevated volatility.
I have no idea, by the way, how close we are to the sort of the timer on this. if I'm okay, that's a great time for the game to hitch. Yeah, I have no idea if like I'm getting this within seconds or what. Could be the case that this is way more generous than I'm concerned about. It could also be the case that we are just barely pulling it off every single time.
Note that oxygen costs can be reduced through good breathing practices.
I don't feel comfortable trying to climb inside the ship and see if there's O2 in there, so let's just go back home. What a time for my thrusters to be giving me shit as well. So it seems like the condition of everything, every one of your pieces of gear,
Oxygen level stabilized.
is sort of, yeah, I can only do repairs in the hub. Okay. It seems like they're all meters that are broken into 4 pieces, so it seems like there's no difference at all between like 76 and 100, but below 75 you start to see failures, and it seems like below 50 is when they start getting really pretty squirrely. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Well, you know what? We imparted enough force to that. I think it will float in.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
All right, Cutter. You got 5 minutes left in this ship before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter.
You know, I wasn't even thinking about the furnace, but it was sure thinking about me.
Thruster fuel system unstable. Proceed with extreme caution.
That emergency fuel shut off label could maybe be in a slightly different spot. Look how smooth that one was. Ooh.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Cool. Real good time for the cutter to start freaking out on me. Whew. All right, there we go. That's the hardest part of that done. I mean, well, the hardest part is probably going to be the part where I have to breach a
Credit applied.
heavy atmosphere chamber right next to the reactor. Where is the reactor? Let me move to systems. The reactor's in there. And in fact, at this point, that's the only compartment that's not fully exposed to the void, it looks like. Is there a connector between the thrusters and the inside of the ship? No. Huh. Alright, well, whatever. Okay, so... let's pull some of this stuff.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
The push pad, whatever a push pad is, has welds. Is it like a bumper? Looks like it would still be attached. Yeah. This central bit, there we go. I was gonna say there's definitely got to be another connection. Huh. Well, I see. It's not actually. It's shooting straight through this. That's why we're getting it out of range. Because did you see there? It focused correctly for a
Till this
second.
turkey's done, Cutter. Gobble gobble.
Yeah, we're gonna have to repair a bunch of our stuff because a lot of it's just like not working at all. There we go. Might be loose now. Yeah, okay. What a weird design. I kind of dig it, honestly.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
There we go. Okay, so we gotta. It is definitely to our benefit to keep the meters on our gear pretty full up, which is not a big deal because the repair kits are essentially free. In fact, we literally do get several for free on most ships.
Good morning, Cutter 9346-52.
What does morning even really mean out here, you know? Okay, repair. Probably just need to repair anything that we think is going to fall below 75% during the shift. Alright. Yeah, let's finish pulling this push pad. I still don't 100% know what it is. And we'll figure things out from there. I mean, it's probably rather than a bumper, it's probably like the intent is you set it up against something and then push it, right? Like you apply some force in it and shove things with it.
Salvage deposit confirmed.
Was this thing for ship salvage? I don't remember. Could have been. That would have made a lot of sense. So can I just pull the fuel tanks? Yeah, okay.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Let's do so pretty gently, but feel a lot better going after the old reactor.
Salvage deposit secured.
Once the fuel is out of the way, I don't think it quite fits through from this side. All right, that's fine. Well, you know, it's not ideal actually because this is these are going to be a little trickier to extract safely. All right. Okay, there we go. I don't know exactly how explosive 96 kilos of fuel is. I mean, I guess also we don't know that that's actually all fuel. Some of that's the tank, presumably.
Valuable object accepted for processing.
Yeah, that'll be good enough. Is there a good way to just like disconnect these entirely? They honestly... Wait, are they connected? Ah, here we go. Okay, this would be a little bit easier probably. if I can remove the thruster pods in their entirety. Then we can make it so those fuel tanks aren't in the middle of a ton of metal. Well, I mean, considerably more than a ton. You know what I mean. Yeah, okay. Stuff's floating apart. So, I know there are... Okay, there are fancy bits in here, but regulators are supposed to go in the processor, so I think we can just shove the whole... Just rip that whole thing out. Yeah, okay, boss. That deeper. Try to turn this thing a little bit. Those fuel tanks aren't, or the fuel pipes themselves aren't worth anything, and this means we could just rip the fuel tanks from outside. See, we're having this problem again. This one's trying at least. See if I can use one of these to sort of scoop the other one. Okay, they're getting where they're going.
Deposit accepted for processing.
Yeah, that's so much better.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
So hold on, do I even need to do that though? I was cutting the connections to the inside. Like, these outer pieces are probably already loose.
Transferring credit. Salvage goal achieved.
Is that true?
Rewards allocated.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Once you've popped them enough to get into the flush valves, you don't even have to pull the caps off.
Tether levels are low.
All right.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Oh, furnace. No. No furnace. Absolutely not. It wants them so bad. Oh, the furnace god. The furnace god is mighty. I didn't do anything.
Caution. Tether supply depleted.
It's just like it's stuck. Such a small amount here. Yeah, alright. Let's go back and grab tethers and fuel and O2 while we're at it. These big pieces are always such a pain. I need to move them more before trying to put them in the processor, but I'm so lazy, you know?
Welcome to Vintage Rock 9000. Thank you for your...
Tethers restored.
If anything, the future has made me lazier. If we can get that to if we can pull the back of it off the wall, I think it'll help a ton. Because, like, the problem is that it's like, this little detail on it is caught on the wall. I'm trying to pull the end of it outward. Look at that. It is like fully magnetized to that wall. It's pulling up, but it's not going at all away from the wall. Yeah, like, for real, twist. So this should be applying like a clockwise... Okay. So these things have no interest in the laws of physics. So I'm gonna just go ahead and direct them to the opposite wall. There we go. Really? Now this thing's causing new kinds of problems. You also get directed to the opposite wall.
Object accepted for processing.
Somehow that caused that one to swing into the processor entirely. Yeah, it's almost like these little outward details. They work like hooks. They just hook on to this plate at the edge of the processor, and they just stick there. And once they're stuck there, there's really like, it's such a huge pain to get them to do anything. How is it just permanently stuck? I can't pull it away from the wall at all in any direction. I would just chop it if I could. That would be pretty helpful. Just pull it away from the wall. Just turn it. Well, it's moving a little bit at least. Come on. Just force. I know this is not cash efficient, but at this point it's become a spite thing. Yeah, those plates have like fully merged together. That's wild.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
Got about 5 minutes left in this ship, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
Spent like half my shift wrestling with this one panel that's worth 200,000 credits.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Oh, right. That's actually still connected.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Okay, the flush switch is not itself like a separate piece that we need to... I mean, if it was, it would just be something to put in the barge anyway, right? Like switches always are, so... What the hell? Ow.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Alright. So these base plates are processor stuff. And yeah, the rigging that they're connected to also is. So I think this is totally... Yeah, this is all totally disconnected from the ship at this point. Oh, also, I missed the light bank.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account. Processing
Oh, wait.
object. Applying credit
Sorry.
to account.
I forgot to pull the injectors off of that. It's weird how every time I pull the cutter out, it's in like it's in dead space mode, even though I never ever put it in that mode. Do not go into the processor. I am working on you. The processor pull is so strong. And it's actually going to twist to protect the cut points. That's wild. It really doesn't want me to take its fuel injector. Okay, well.
Credits deposited.
Physics in this game are extremely questionable. one tether was enough to impart so much force that like 4 tethers couldn't possibly break it. Alright, so we need to pull this away from the ship, and this is all cut already. We need to get it like way over here before we try to deliver it into the processor so that we can ensure that it doesn't decide to space glue itself to the wall. And then once it's moving, we probably only need to give it a little bit of a push. Okay, you gotta... Because like once it's close to the processor at all, the infinite hunger of the processor mouth should do the rest of the job, which makes it even more wild that we can't get that other piece free. Yeah, alright.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
So we've stripped off most of the outsides. Okay, this is a 2 kilogram light. That's going to be worth like a little something.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
1 minute left, Cutter. Time to start wrapping things up.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
I can't believe how little the thrusters are attached to the rest of the body of the ship. That's wild to me. Seems to me like that would be a really bad idea. But, I mean, I guess these space engineers probably know what they're doing.
Warning. Your oxygen reserves are dropping below statistically profitable levels.
We don't actually have to get these processed, we just have to get the tethers up. And hopefully the processor will finish the job when we get back out for this next shift. So, I mean, even though a huge amount of that shift was wasted, there's still 5.5 million.
New certification level awarded.
And we still pulled a new rank out of it, which unfortunately probably means a bunch more unskippable chatter.
Good morning, Cutter 9346-52.
Okay.
Today's weather
Ooh,
report. Clear and
fancy.
sunny, with a high of -270 degrees.
So they're going to want to tell us all about coolant leaks and whatnot.
Good news, Cutter. You've earned clearance to the next hazard level. This means you'll be getting Class 2 reactors now. Gnarly things. We'll start training when you're ready, and I'll walk you through them.
Oh, they're not so bad. You seen one reactor, you seen them all, I think.
This ain't really that simple.
Yeah, I got a tip for you there, newbie. Don't blow it up.
Cutter, like I said, let me know when you're ready to start training.
Don't take too long.
I mean, they're doing a good job making Hal insufferable. Alright, you are now authorized to work on salvage containing environmental control units, which control the atmosphere and pressure levels inside the ship. You want to pull open the access panel and remove the connected coolant canisters to make it safe. Coolant leaks can adversely affect body temperature. Yep, that's fair. That makes sense. Also, Class 2 reactors, which will be connected to ECUs. Take the ECU and thrusters out before extracting the reactor, or else you're going to get a faster meltdown. And it doesn't say how much faster, so, you know, it might be a thing where you can still manage it. We'll check that out when we're done with this ship. I have salvage goals to hit. Okay. Looks to me like all that's going to work. Let's talk about this reactor, shall we? Yeah, and there really is no other airlock. I mean, I could just force the door. I think I'm just going to kill this door, honestly. Forcing the door is dangerous. I have to be in there. Killing the door from here is probably like pretty low danger, to me at least. It's not going to be great for all of the things inside the ship necessarily.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Okay, so we blew out some chunks of panel.
Goal cleared.
Probably not even stuff worth caring about. No sense leaving this in place. The airlock is fully non-functional at this point. Fully and permanently.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
Bunch of fabric all over the walls.
Processing
Okay.
object. Applying credit
And
to
then this is
account.
just the cockpit stuff. Okay. So all of this was already unpowered. Seems like the reactor must be disconnected. Awful lot of wiring in here. And there was an atmosphere regulator. If only the doors had worked. Oh, hey, just circuit board floating loose. Okay. So we need to remove the floor of this room. I'll let us pull that reactor very safely. Also, loose wires. Come on, a little further. Oh, hey. Big panel's gone. Wonder if it got scraped off the wall by the other big panels? Yeah, and that stuff is all processor stuff. Okay, yeah. Let's do that reactor, shall we? Seems fairly straightforward. Alright, don't really get any easier than that.
Registered. Account credited. Object processed. Transferring credits. Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Okay, better. So all the cabling goes in the furnace. I mean, it would be best to just not even disconnect it from the wall if that's the case, right? We can move this all in kind of as one big piece. So these welds, these are holding this processor nanocarbon to the furnace structure. We do want to cut these, but I'm worried that the cables might catch fire. I mean, they're insulated, right? They're supposed to not do that. That's kind of their whole thing.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Yeah, let's remove these cut points for sure. Like I said, I think it probably is the case that I should be doing less cutting than I'm doing. Because anywhere that, like, nanocarbon components are connected to nanocarbon components, we should, at the very least, do a little survey and see if it would be better to just move the whole thing all as one piece. These tethers are magic. They let you get away with a whole lot of weird stuff. Alright, did I get both sides up here? Yeah. Oh, see, there's this. But that's just connecting the wires to the furnace grate, which I don't want to break that. That's actually totally fine. Can I get...
Credits transferred.
I need to get into the outer part of the fuselage here. Let's go in this way. come back around through here and just laser off some more pieces. I should probably be pulling the fabric. Well, I don't really want to, though. It's already connected to the right kind of thing. I'm just thinking, sure would be a shame to start a huge fire in here. That's kind of cool. We're not getting the posters that we salvage as like things to put on our own walls, right? I think I checked that already. We still have the same set of posters. So it doesn't feel like there's really a good reason to do that. Is that top plate still? I thought that was going to get us... Maybe I missed some welds? I thought we were going to be able to rip the top of this off. Alright, there, we could... My plan was to rip the top of this off and then use that to get into the maintenance space. But maybe the actual way to do this is to disconnect the airlock and just pull off the back plating. See if we're actually able to do that. Okay, nothing over there. This would probably not be possible to do if we hadn't explosively decompressed this and just kind of used the magic of physics to create some additional gaps for us. There we go. That'll get us into the outer area. So there's one more weld connecting the airlock to the back plate. All right. Really? There we go.
Salvage registered.
Not, you know,
Transferring credits.
universally my finest work. Nope. Furnace God, I see you. I'm watching. Alright, that should be good enough. Shit. Fuck. Okay. Losing control of my rotation.
Object processed.
Just a tiny little bit there.
Deposited.
Okay. There we go. Now we're in the place I wanted to be in. Okay, so all these like
Low oxygen levels detected.
extra connected bits here we don't really have to worry about. Okay, so there was some thruster fuel inside the ship. I didn't see any O2. We can take a really quick look. Alright, you know, probably the best way to get back to station is actually just through the cockpit at this point. Ah, damn it. Why is that not... Okay.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Please contact.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Push and activate absolutely should not be the same button. Especially since push is bound to multiple things. Which seems very silly. Alright, so the flight terminal is the whole backing here, right? If we pull this out, it becomes much easier to yank stuff out of the front of the ship.
You got 5 minutes left in this shift, Cutter. Before they turn the lights out. You were out.
Wow. So that's a death. I am still technically alive. Like, remarkably alive. Get me back to the hab? That was wild. That I tapped the reel and the controls, like the game hitched again, and I guess it imagined that I was holding the reel until it unhitched. I definitely wasn't, but yeah. All right. Well, there was no reparable damage there. I feel like that was pretty.
Cutter, I'll say one thing. Certainly ain't afraid of dying.
True story.
You might want to try and keep your spares to a minimum if you want to pull yourself out of debt.
So really, really interestingly, that did not change where we are in our shift.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Like, we had just hit the 5-minute warning and we respawned. Like, I think I respawned at the moment of death, which is a very weird way for this to work.
Registered. Transferring credits.
Weird both in the sense that it doesn't make any kind of diegetic sense, and in the sense that it's an extremely forgiving way for that system to work, which is kind of at odds with
Salvage secured.
the narrative, you know, it being like the system of Link's indentured servitude and everything. Very strange. Come on, get out of there. Ugh, this little lip is such a pain in the ass.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
Everything has to be pulled out and up and over, and as you can imagine, I'm like a tiny bit leery of the fucking reel at the moment. It does all kinds of things you wouldn't want it to do.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Wonder how many players have killed themselves with a storage bin. Have very carefully managed a bunch of fuel shutdown and reactor procedures, have done all of the dangerous work just fine, and then have killed themselves with a storage bin.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
These things are basically torpedoes. And there are so many of them.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
I think we're all good to just peel these. Yeah, they're not attached to anything except to maybe some interior lights, which we don't really care about. Yeah, these I actually did not finish cutting. I went to all the trouble to get that fresh oxygen and then just let it all escape out the front of my suit. Really pretty wasteful if you think about it. Okay. Other panels in the way of the tether. There we go. Make sure that pulls free of the furnace. And that's the back plate of the ship, so it'll sort of turn as it goes around.
Transferring credit.
I don't care about these tiny little bits of broken furnace
Good shot,
plate.
Cutter. 1 minute left on the clock.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
Okay. Little tiny bit of extra efficiency. What if we only had to move every 2 cuts? Alright, so large parts of this thing are pretty disconnected. We really don't have too much work to do. We're going to tear through this last bit of this ship very quickly.
Hello, Shipbreaker. Please enjoy this
Yep.
inspirational message.
Even with the
The
death.
last 10% of a job takes as
I mean,
much
it's
energy
such a
as
small
the first
amount.
90%, which is why it's so important to always give 110%.
It is the largest single item on here, but like still, it is such a small amount compared to the amount we're making every day. And I think they were trying to generate sort of like the hopeless feeling of being stuck in a shift job by making the total debt number really, really high. And then that way you can still get a satisfying amount of like effort in. You can still watch some numbers go up, but also
Fuel levels are low.
you can be making forward progress and the goal can still be really, really far away.
Master Jack.
The problem is, if you really want to recreate the situation of being stuck in modern late stage capitalism, the deal is you have to not be making forward progress at all. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so wait, if I collect it... Oh, I see. I killed this thruster fuel. That's what... Okay, so there's salvage, but there's also collection. If you salvage it, you don't get to display it. If you collect it, you can display it. Okay, that's a sensible way for that system to work, honestly. I just get so used to tithing everything to the company that it's automatic. And that right there is actually some good ludonarrative assonance.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
Okay, so there was one more weld left on these plates, and then it looked like there was one weld still holding the bits around the wires together. But I want to make sure that I'm not cutting the wrong thing here. So that's furnace from processor. Trying very hard not to cut through and stinger the wires directly. Okay, and at this point, these should just peel off, yeah? Okay, cool, great. Peeling a spaceship is super fun. This is a good feeling. But I think like a big part of, as a person who has spent a lot of time sort of dying, living in the slowly dying nightmare of working real hard and just being too poor to survive. A big part of that bad feeling, let's go buy some more thruster fuel right quick. A big part of that bad feeling is things seem like they keep getting worse. You're either just keeping your head above water or you're not keeping your head above water. And
Fuel levels restored.
every month you look at those numbers and you're just like, how? How does it keep getting worse? How have we not hit the bottom yet? How would you recreate that in a video game that people would actually want to play? I don't know. Maybe you can't, honestly. I think that cap is, yeah, that cap is fully disconnected. I just needed to get it out from around the nose of the processor bit, or the furnace bit rather. This stuff's all processor food. And then
Valuable object accepted for processing.
this little grating is surprisingly heavy. Surprisingly massive, I suppose I should say. Is that even gonna... Yeah, it's probably fine. We are definitely using the tether for these. Alright, all this stuff around here is furnace. We want to keep this as together as possible. So actually, it's not even the frame. It's just these little bits of backing that were nanocarbon. And everything else here is either furnace or I don't care about it, right?
Credits awarded.
Looks like it. I pulled all of the valuable stuff. I hit myself in the face with a bunch of it. Nope, there's a door console. Is the door console on the other side of this doorway also pulled?
Credit applied.
It is not. Okay. So,
Secured. Account credit applied.
that was a fun salvage, though. Is that all that wire stuff still solid? Yep. All right. I'll go in together. And there's not really anything else for us to do. I guess we'll just go wait by the door to the hab. I can definitely see, like, having knowledge of the ships and figuring out better ways to go at them is cool, but, like, the figuring out is the most fun part of it, and I could definitely see how that thrill can wane, right? At some point you will have cut all of the kinds of ships that they have in the game, and there's some amount of procedural generation going on here where they're fitting together different parts on different chassis and stuff, but you're going to see the combinations. I don't know exactly how many there are, but at some point you're going to have seen all the combinations. Obviously, infinite replay value is both not realistic and also not worth aspiring to. No game should be a forever game, and I would go so far as to say that I think it's immoral to try to build a forever game. But you know how people on the internet are. Okay. Feeling pretty good about that. That zapped sticker, I assume, is for appropriately salvaging like a whole lot of cable all at once.
Salvage goal reached.
There was something big in there. We destroyed something big, and then it was immediately replaced by door, 3,000 credits. But yeah, we fried something real big. Okay, so that was another 57 links tokens, that shift. We've almost made it to the coveted rank 11 without even trying out this new coolant thing.
Good morning, Shipbreaker. Your allocated
Aw.
shift time will be commencing shortly.
Okay, yeah, I gotta pull some more posters instead of handing them over to the company. Especially since they are not worth literally anything to the company. But you know what? I think this right here is where we're gonna call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're gonna be trying one of those coolant ships, and we're gonna see if I find an exciting new way to murder myself. And we'll see you then.